my friends, and welcome back to Total War Rome 2. HeirofCarthage here, and yes, we are going to continue some action in Total War Rome 2. This came from my last venture with the folks over at the Gathering Stone, which was led by Sol Invictus. This is a 4v4 sub-commanders battle. I will be over here on the home team, and as you can see, I am actually playing as the Etruscans. This is the first time that I had gotten to play as the Etruscans, though we have seen them on the channel before, but this will help me get a little more familiar with them. You can see here that we've actually got the, I just about said Arverni, but it's not the Arverni. The Illyrians, RDA, they're going to be player 2, which is spears and missiles. They have a mixture of hoplites, spears, slave slingers, and they have gotten some improvements to some of their units in the mod. So the Arverni, the RDA have a little bit more to offer. The Arverni, who I keep referencing, are going as player 1 here, which is the melee infantry, which is a good choice. Chosen swords, naked warriors, Celtic warriors, a nice variety of stuff here. Oathsworn general, so some good solid variety. I'm taking up the player 4 role, which means that I kind of can fill a variety of different places. We've got the Etruscan Guard coming along here. This is actually an axe unit that has a couple of javelins. Very tanky unit, and they have a cool ability here that I'm using with the commander, which is Fortify. And you can see that Fortify will make us stronger against cavalry. And then we have the Stand Firm ability, which is kind of like a stand and fight. And they do really well while it's active. So it's an interesting unit, the Etruscan Guard. And then as far as other units, I've got some Etruscan hoplites over here. So that should be interesting to see how they play out. We've got some Etruscan spears and Umbrian defenders. Now, the Umbrian units, I believe, ignore terrain penalties. Yep, so they can move freely throughout whatever type of terrain they're in. And then if you see Volsky units, actually, is it Volsky that comes with these ones? Etruscan spears, Umbrians. Yeah, Volsky units are ones that can provide a scare effect. So it's interesting units from the Etruscans here. We should be able to do well. I've actually got a couple skirmisher cavalry too, the Etruscan horse skirmishers, which by all means going to be decent horse skirmishers. So that's our army. We do have cavalry with the Suebi, and you can see that we've got a noble rider. That's actually Sol leading the cavalry here. And we've got our noble riders, and then we've got a few scout riders over there, and then a couple of riders of the hunt. And we are going to be facing off against Carthage, the Massilians, not Massazeli. Carthage, the Massilians, I almost said Lusitani there. It's going to be the Roxolani, I believe, and Macedon. Macedon is pulling together the melee infantry. They've got pikes and swords. Interesting to see the pike. Actually, Macedon I think Macedon is player 1 because they have the pikes and the swords here. They also have a Aspis companion general. Pretty safe place for your general. Very tough cavalry. Those have actually been improved cost-wise and stuff too. There's a Massilian hoplite general, hoplites here, and then for the other Massilian units, looks like Levy Freeman and light hoplites, Celtic slingers. So they are in the player 2 role. And then I'm going to assume player 4 here is the Scythians. I believe it's player 4. We'll see how many swords they have, because you can only have so many swords, and then some spears, and I'm assuming they have some skirmishers as well to back up the Massilians. And then the cavalry, of course, is with the Roxolani. I'm having a hard time figuring out what they've got here. Carthage is the cavalry, my bad. So Carthage is 3. Roxolani here are number 4, player 4, because they have the mixture of units. I understand now. It was confusing me for a moment, but I'm here for it. And I shouldn't be so confused because I played in this battle, but that don't always mean that I'm not confused. Now, the steppe horse archers over here have really good damage at 40. Decent range. Not going to be very good melee combatants. The Germanic scout riders would certainly be better melee combatants. They're also more dangerous at close range because of the javelins. But of course, the horse archer is more deadly from long range. We do have a fast charge on the general here, so we'll have to keep that in mind. So it could be interesting. As we were looking at the battle early on, we were trying to assess the situation. Obviously, the pikes will be deadly if we are not able to single them out. Usually what the player's going to do is to use them to fill gaps or to push in through their own units and get kills. I do love how they changed the banner with the pikes to make it easier to identify them. So this was actually really nice. That just makes the overall user experience a little simpler. So the skirmishing is going to begin. The RDA slave slingers gonna fend off the Celtic slingers. So it's going to be, a fight of fairly lightweights here. There's not a ton of skirmishers for both sides. We were feeling fairly confident about our infantry capabilities here, and so we decided to go ahead and push a little more aggressively than we otherwise normally would, because we decided that with the skirmishers present and the pikes, we figured, hey, we should have a melee advantage if we just kind of avoid the pikes. Though we do have plenty of cavalry push from Carthage, it's going to be tricky. They have a mercenary Numidian noble and a noble cav general. Noble cav, again, has gotten a price reduction. They're a lot more relevant now. And then some more mercenary Numidians and Carthaginians. So Carthaginian cavalry is nothing to slouch off for sure. And then you combine that with the fact that the Roxolani have a Royal Horse Archer and several more. Cavalry is going to be tough, so we figured, hey, hold the flanks, push forward, get some victories, and we'll see what we can do. So I'm going to start pushing forward to the flanks as well here momentarily to support Sol against the cavalry. And you can see right off the bat, the Celtic slingers did get hurt pretty bad, which was a good start for us. And you can see the melee engagements getting started. And it looks like the pikes are hoping to kind of get in here and go through some of their own units to get to us. You see here I've got none of my units present. We have an Illyrian Noble Hoplite and then some naked warriors and stuff. They're pulling away from the pikes, so it's a little bit of cat and mouse here with the pikes. Again, pikes will be very effective if they can force you to where you don't want to be, and they will struggle if they cannot. Look at this Agrionian Axeman here. Nice support from behind the line, pitching those javelins into the Oathsworn. That is a valuable target, and one of the challenges of these elite infantry is trying to make sure that they don't just take the focus fire from everything. So I've got some units moving around this flank. Otherwise, I'm moving to the other flank to help push the cavalry. This is to support Sol. If I push out here with these Etruscan spears, I can do a little damage and hopefully help fix these units and allow, see, like right here, his Riders of the Hunt connected with that mercenary Numidian cav. So kind of some combined arms tactics there. And then over here, it's just more of like a general outflanking. I'm going to use my spears to try and push an opening and force a reaction over here from some of the enemy infantry. Now, the fights get started early, and again, we were thinking that this would be fairly quick and decisive for us, but really nice focus here from the enemy into the Oathsworn, and the Oathsworn right now is not being terribly effective, so that's actually slowing down what could have been good progress, and then the Aspis cavalry here also doing a good job slowing down could have been good progress. Those Agrionians pitched their javelins and are now getting involved in melee. And then there's a thorax sword over here, so the melee engagement has not been as quick nor as decisive as we would have liked. I do have the Etruscan hoplites here to try and tank this thorax sword. They ended up getting turned around because of the weird hoplite phalanx mechanic that sometimes does that, so not ideal there. You can see here we've got a pike unit trying to hold this flank. In the meantime, my hoplites are turned around the wrong direction, which can't be great for them, but honestly they're doing pretty good because their melee defense is up so high. It hasn't been the end of the world. This pike got its flank turned to the slingers. It's going to get shredded, but you can see that the players working hard to try and outflank our infantry. That Oathsworn, it got wrecked. So that was a really nice job here by the Agrionians and the leftover slingers from our opponents. So they did a really good job of blunting the initial fight here. The Illyrian Noble Hoplites are actually doing better than the Oathsworn did. They didn't get near as much focus, and this Illyrian Marine is getting a ton of kills. Just look at this thing going absolutely ham over here, though it is now getting hit by pikes. This combined arms can be dangerous. I was able to help push back the Carthaginian cavalry. My own cavalry is left out here a little bit alone at the moment. And then over here, I've been able to continually put some pressure on those horse archers and push them back. This has allowed Sol's cavalry to move up a little closer. That Aspis cavalry is not going to leave us alone that easily. My hoplites are still fighting with their back facing the enemy because why not? And the funny thing is that they're not losing. So I guess they don't need to turn around and face their enemy. That's a superpower they got. I did have this mercenary Ligurian sword. We did get a fast charge from the Suebi commander here. So I went charging forward with the Etruscan guard. And they got like 30 kills really quick, and my Ligurian swords came in to help reinforce here. I was worried about my Etruscan guard getting the same shredding that the Oathsworn got previously, so I'm trying to push them up and get them right in the face of the enemy, so it'll be harder to discharge all the javelins and ammunition into them. But I imagine that Etruscan guard is going to be a very deadly unit, and I'm hoping for big things from it. I'm going to come in here and fix these Scythian swords. keep pushing this flank, trying to open up some avenues. We do have some Steppe Noble Lancers back here. Carthaginian cavalry, I was able to busy it, but now this unit's going to get caught out here, the Umbrian defenders. But you can see it's a pretty close fight here in the middle. There is a lot of enemies here, but we're trying to work our way through it, and we'll see how it goes. This Ligurian swordsman is now free to push forward. My Etruscan guard is over here, and they are using the stand firm ability here, and you can see that their kills ratchet up there because of the increased attack. So they are absolutely chopping their way through. Haven't lost a single unit. It is a deadly unit. If I just stay clear of the pikes, I should be in good shape. My Ligurian sword's got a little bit hung up here on this thorax sword, but I was basically working my way around to the rear, but then decided to just kind of move over and maybe add some support elsewhere. I don't know. I can't tell what they're doing. Looks like they're going to collapse into the back of that thorax sword. That Etruscan hoplite hardly took any losses, even with its back turned, which is really quite impressive. Yeah, as we look here, this is back here, so the Illyrian Noble Hoplites getting cycle charged by this heavy cavalry. They've gotten a lot of kills because they busted through that main line. My spears have done a good job of keeping these horse archers busy for a long time. And over here I was able to busy that swordsman unit as well. So again, just kind of holding units and doing my best to try and distract and help out my teammates. This Illyrian Marine over here fighting, again, those Marines are very nice after the updates in the mod. They're a very cool kind of technical unit that make the RDA a lot less of a flop. Now my Etruscan Guard starts to get surrounded by pikes, so the obvious move here is to just pull out. There's a nice formation that the enemy was going here for, which was kind of like a wood chipper. Gonna put a phalanx in the middle and then the pikes on the side, but I'm not gonna allow that, so I'm just gonna pull away. That's the downside of pikes, is that they just don't have the way to force that. Look at this. The entire fight, my men just turned their backs. This is... The Spartans thought they were brave for the way they fought. Etruscans don't even face their enemy. Like, they don't even give them the dignity of seeing their eyes. It's just nothing but butt cheek. That's all they get. So, but still, nonetheless, my Etruscan hoplites have done well. We'll take care of them in a minute. I brought the Etruscan Guard over to kind of finish this unit off. They're in formation attack. I probably should have taken them out of formation attack, but I hadn't noticed that previously. So the pikes are chasing after us, trying to force an engagement. With their numbers dwindling, though, they don't have a great way to force the engagement. So it's starting to be a good deal for us. There's another fresh Illyrian Noble Hoplite back here, so at this point, our enemies are in pretty big trouble. They don't have a lot of units left. My Etruscan Hoplite finally comes out of the "we're not facing you" mode and decides to come and face forward, and as a result, they should get considerably more kills. We'll follow that unit with great interest. I'm going to try and block up my Etruscan Guard and see if I can get through this gap in the pikes. You can see the Oathsworn was able to do so. And then I've got my Ligurian sword set up for the same thing. I'm going to try and shoot some gaps here. I was just busy, I think, controlling some of my other units. I've still got cavalry and spears. And you can see our Illyrian player able to hold on to some of their units until late here, though. That mercenary Numidian noble coming in here looking for a few extra kills. It's got 205, so an extremely nice job done by our Carthaginian opponent there. At this point, the pikes are starting to fall apart. Look how much quicker that Etruscan Hoplite's picking up kills now, already up to 50 kills. Use the Fortify here to help all my units, and then I'm going to continue to push into combat. I should get a stand firm here soon. Looks like someone put a second wind on my Etruscan Hoplites as well, so they'll be fighting rather strong here. Rear charge there from the Noble Riders. That little bonus there should have given me a little extra oomph against the Aspis cavalry there as well, the stand firm. We've got Pride on now, which is going to increase AP damage for all of our units. That one's from the Suebi commander. So look at this, 159 kills on the Etruscan Guard, and then look at this Hoplite. It's already up to 70 kills now. So the Etruscan Hoplite starts picking up some kills. They may have come late, but they're not going to let their opportunity pass them by. Look at that, just crushing through. They've got a lot of damage now because of Pride being popped there. Look at that, just rocketing up to 100 and over. They started getting some big kills there at the end. 105, 106. So it's going to end up being a solid victory for our team. We still have some horsemen back here to kill. In order to finish things off, there's still that Aspis cavalry there. If my Etruscan Hoplites get a hold of that unit, they should be able to do very well against it. I think that if that's the right Hoplite spear, yeah, they get pretty good AP with that spear. And then my Etruscan Guard are going to chase down the Massilian Hoplite here. It should be well suited to killing Hoplites because of the axes doing well against armor. So it shouldn't be too much of a problem. The Swaby Riders are going to help me chase and hold that unit. Then we're just going to clobber it, basically, with everything here. And meanwhile, I'm going to run these Etruscan Hoplites out here to support against this Royal Horse Archer, which is going to be no small task. 60 armor is pretty good, and then that is a lot of melee attack. 65 melee attack is brutal. And then, it kind of makes them in some ways a lot like an Aspis Cav, probably with lower defense. But that attack is extremely good. So these Royal Horse Archers will be putting down a beating on anything that they get in there with. I used my Horse Skirmishers to help hold it longer too. Here comes a second Noble Rider. And then I am trying to get out here as quick as I can. My Etruscan Hoplites are actually fresh, but that's just as fast as they go. See here my Etruscan Guard up to 191 kills and climbing. That Massilian Hoplite is definitely a juicy target for them. They should get a considerable number of kills there. The Ligurian Swordsmen able to now go and chase the Horse Archers. And then here we go, the Hoplites arriving in position. Those Royal Horse Archers were owning in melee. They were taking very few losses. Now my Heavy Spears have caught up. They will do well, but remember that even still with the Heavy Spears here, I mean, those Royal Horse Archers have some high attack. They're still going to get some hits. And then look at that. They've got this debuff here, the Group Taunt, which is going to drop our melee attack, and damage, and rout. So it's a nice use of ability there. So still a very impressive performance out of those Royal Horse Archers, and for my Etruscan Hoplites, a chance to rack up a few more kills after having spent most of the battle facing the wrong direction. See, those Royal Horse Archers are going to flee out of there. They still have ammunition left, but they really can't run away very well at this point. So again, ends up being a solid victory for our team. I do have one more replay, which I will show you all soon from this. This one was definitely a fun battle. I very much appreciate Magnus, Soul, Massimax, Ninja Keeper, Dracos, Joe. I think Joe has a YouTube channel as well, and War. All of these are fantastic players. You can't go wrong, folks, when you join the Gathering Stone. I do have the link down there to it. These people play battles every day. If you want to just come play battles, you want to learn how to play the battles, you want to learn about the mod, I'm sure they are happy to help you. They always need people to come and play. It is really a fun environment. I have not played any battles in this environment where someone's like upset or getting after you or doesn't want you there. Very great community of folks and a really fun mod that was put together. I mean, I absolutely love the work that they've done on it. It is really fun to play. The Etruscans, to me, felt very special too, and I enjoyed my playtime with them. To me, this mod kind of does what I'm always talking about, how I wish that the historical games could be more like Warhammer in terms of having more gameplay variety. And this mod kind of accomplishes that. It gives you a reason to play each faction. The Etruscans are different. The Servile Rebellion's different. Swaby is different. And then all these changes they made with the other factions, it makes all of the factions have something unique to offer, something fun to offer and to bring you back to. So I think it's very nice work, and I hope you all enjoyed it. I appreciate the folks who helped me out here with this one, especially Soul for putting the event together, and Alpha Blue, and I always forget who his help is on the mod. It's Alpha Blue, and Howitzer, I think, was maybe the other one working on the mod. If I got it wrong, please correct me, but thank you to all of them. HeirofCarthage signing out for now. I will see you all soon with some more action in Total War Rome 2.